Let me go back. I'm going to be very blunt right now. Let me go back to the basic things. Did you or did you not say that the Iberian Judeans prior to the 1400s were the real Judeans? Did you or did you not say that on Instagram many times?
The black Jews. The black Jews,
okay.
yes, the black Jews.
Okay, that's what I want to know. That's what I want to know. These individuals who you say were really your ancestors from the real Judeans, they were the advisors. They were in public records, not from the Jews. Didn't keep these records. The Muslims kept the records, and the Christians kept the records. These guys were the advisors to the heads of the viziers and etc. And they wrote down poetry in Hebrew in the Asherite script. This question you have is not for me, but the people you say are your ancestors, because they were doing the same thing that I'm doing today. And so you got a lot of homework to do. You got a lot of digging to do before you start talking smack against me. I want you to come back prepared. I want you to be, go into the Torah and listen to God.
I am prepared.
I'm ready.
Rabbi, listen, Rabbi. If there's different tribes in Africa, such as the people off of the coast of the Lango coast, which encompasses Gabon and Angola, if they say that they are the exiles of the Jews that were banished in 1492. If you got people living in Yoruba land saying that they were the people that were exiled and were banished and they had to leave, otherwise convert to Christianity, become new Christians, and they came to the area where they knew their brother was at, and they have evidence, they have the Torah written in Moroccan, Arabic, and Hebrew, and another dialect. If you have people from Oyuda that say that they are descendants of the people that came from 1492, the banished Jews, all these people are saying this, and then when you look at the Old English records, Old English dates back to about 1400, 1500 AD. So the Old English records, before there was even real English, and the letter J and the letter F and letter S, all these different things where things are just twisted around, like the U and the U and the V with Pavel and Paul. When you look at the Old English records, it talks about the Negroes, the Jews, the black Jews that were banished from Spain and Portugal to the Portuguese colonies in Cape Verde and Sao Tome, which is St. Thomas and Principe, all these Equatorial Guinea, Angola. You will see that these people are black. When you test their DNA from the maternal side and the paternal side, from the father and the mother, they all are straight up Bantus people, not Sephardic Jews. So how do you explain that these black people that got banished, they say that there were the black Jews that got banished in 1492. They're living in the Portuguese settlements in Cape Verde, Sao Tome, St. Thomas, Principe, Equatorial Guinea, Angola, and also in Yoruba land, which is where Lagos means lake in Portuguese. The Elmina Castle, before it was named Elmina Castle, it was the Portuguese slave fort. And you look at Oyuda, Ajuda, Ouida, Oyuda, these were Portuguese and French slave ports that they used to transport the children of Israel. They knew who these people were, and the people that actually came down to this area, they knew that they were descendants of the people that got banished in 1492. They already knew this. They already knew this, and when they got to Africa, they were able to continue to do things the way they was according to the Torah, and some of them converted to Christianity, but they still know who they are. They still have Hebrew traditions and customs that they've always known. They didn't have to go to school to learn this. It's built in them. They didn't know anything about the word Judaism and the Kabbalah and the Mishnah and the Jamam. It's always been in them. Even without a Torah, they were following traditions and customs. So how do you explain this when you guys say, "Oh, we're the Sephardic Jews"? When in all actuality, when you check your DNA is no different than any other European. Matter of fact, the Sephardic Jews can have more Neanderthal DNA than anybody else, including the Druze people. The Druze people and the Sephardic Jews have the most Neanderthal DNA when you test their population than anybody else in Europe. That's a known fact. You can look it up. Maternal DNA X. When you look at your maternal DNA, it's straight up European across the globe. Maternal DNA H, HV, U, K, J. These are all European maternal haplogroups. When you look at the paternal DNA of your people, it goes back to Central Asia. It also goes back to the watered down people that call themselves the Arabs today, when the original black Arabs were black. So when you look at J1, J2, when you look at R1A, when you look at all these different Y haplogroups, it shows that you guys are basically people that converted, because people that say they are of one tribe, one nation, are going to have one haplogroup. The so-called Negro, if you test every Negro in America, you're going to get E1B1A. If you go to West Africa, you're going to get E1B1A. If you go to Australia, you're going to have C. If you go to Papua New Guinea, you're going to have M and S. If you go to Ethiopia, you're going to have the same thing, E1B1A2. You're going to have the same exact uniform paternal haplogroup. You guys have about 9 or 10 or 12 of them. Why? Because your ancestral fathers and mothers just started intermarrying each other and just converting to Judaism. And this is why you've seen a huge number of the so-called worldwide Jewry happen overnight, because you guys did a mass conversion. And all of a sudden, you guys are 95% of the world Jewry, which is basically European. This is false. The Ethiopian Jews make up less than 5% worldwide Jewry, but you guys say that you guys kept Torah back in